Breaking news. According to various media reports, the third fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder is off. And this is because the rematch clause has apparently now expired. These things do have time limits on them, obviously. Now, for most of us, this sounds like good news because the Wilder rematch, that the third fight that is, was getting in the way of us seeing Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua for the Undisputed. And that's what most of us want to see. Now, the question here is, has the rematch clause actually expired? Because in some of these media reports, it's saying that the rematch clause is close to expiring. And they're just assuming it's going to expire and the third fight between Fury and Wilder won't happen. But will Team Wilder try and throw a spanner in the works here at the last minute, at the 11th hour? Will they say, aha, not yet, not yet. We still intend to go ahead with this third fight, and we've just managed to get some venue, we just managed to get some money together, we're going to do this, that, and the other, and make sure that this trilogy fight actually takes place. Hopefully that's not the case. Again, there's nothing against Deontay Wilder, as much as I've criticized him over the years, because both him and his fans have gotten carried away with Wilder worship and Wilder's ego. Wilder is a very exciting fighter. He's a tremendous puncher, and he provided us some excellent entertainment over the years. But it's always been the top priority for me as a boxing fan to see the Undisputed fight. Irrespective of who takes part in that Undisputed fight, I want to see it. I want to see an Undisputed champion so we can then say, okay, this guy's the man. We can throw all the lineals and all that type of stuff out of the window and just have one champion. Now, he'll probably get stripped not long after becoming Undisputed, but at least he became Undisputed. So if he does get stripped, the other champions don't look like the real champion. You understand? So nothing against Wilder. It's just business. As a boxing fan, I want to see an Undisputed champion. So it says here in this TalkSport article that sources in the States and the UK confirm Fury versus Wilder 3 is definitely off, with either Joshua or Fury set to become the first undisputed heavyweight champion of the world since Lennox Lewis. And they talk about the possibility of Fury versus AJ happening in the UK. If not, then possibly in the Middle East or even China. Let's see what happens here. If any of you have got more information about this in terms of any response from the Wilder camp, and also I'd like to ask you guys, do you really believe that Deontay Wilder himself actually wanted this trilogy fight with Tyson Fury? Because I've said all along, I don't think Wilder really wants it. I think that there's members of his team that want it, and maybe members within his circle, the hangers-on, the people who are getting paid off Wilder's success. There's a lot of money in that trilogy fight. Not as much money as there was in the second fight, obviously, but there's still a lot of money in it. And the people around him, they want to get paid. So if the trilogy fight doesn't happen, there's the danger that Deontay Wilder kind of drifts off into obscurity again, relative obscurity. You think those people around him want that? Nah, man, they're trying to get that bag. So it was always my view that Wilder deep down didn't really want to fight, but because he's a prideful individual and because he feels like he needs to live up to a certain image and live up to certain expectations, he decided to invoke that rematch clause. I think there was probably a lot of pressure on him from the broadcaster, from the advisor, from managers and trainers and all that kind of stuff. But as I say, they might try to throw a spanner in the works at the 11th hour because according to these articles, the rematch clause is about to expire, but will it actually? We'll see. And again, some of you are going to say, this proves that Wilder didn't really want it, and it proves what I'm saying is true. But there's one thing the fighter not wanting it. It's a different thing the team not wanting it. When you've got a fighter, look, Deontay's not going to admit to his team, I don't want the fight. He's not going to admit to the broadcaster. He's not going to admit to, other people openly. That's something they might get a sense from. They might get a vibe from him that you don't want it. But he's not going to come straight out and say it. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this news in the comments below. I'm out.